Okay, so the first nice warm, not wet day in spring that I've been able to get out on the bike. Last weekend, my battery was dead because I went on vacation and back home in Ohio. Hadn't ridden the bike in probably 2 to 3 months after that tire took out my rear shock. And this is the first day I've been able to get out. So, I've got a new Ohlins shock on the back. I can already tell that it's quite a bit better at damping. I'm going to dial it in over the course of today. And the only bit that I won't be able to show until I get the bike up on a a bike stand, one of those lifts, scissors lift kind of thing, is the rebound adjustment. The rebound adjustment is all the way at the tail end of the shock, pointing toward the rear. It's a ring around the very top of the shock that you have to rotate in order to adjust the rebound. The only way that you can do that is either by going in through the swing arm where you adjust the stock rebound and kind of trying to push on it with a screwdriver or something, which I would not recommend because it'll probably mar up the rubber plastic adjuster. So the only other way you can do it is by putting your hand all the way up and through the swing arm at the top of the shock and having maybe like an inch to move your fingers to twist the thing. And when I got mine, after they put it on the bike, the adjuster was so tight that I really had to just crank and crank and crank until it finally broke loose and is now adjusting properly. So I've got the rebound adjusted all the way out, so it is at its, I guess you could call it its harshest. The bike pops back up the fastest. And I need to make sure that my compression is all the way to the softest, meaning the tire or the shock will compress its fastest, the least amount of force. So, and then I think the rebound is all the way dialed out as well. And that's how you initially set up a shock. I need to get my sag set. It feels okay just doing a bounce test, but when my wife comes out this weekend, I'm going to have her actually get out the measuring tape and make sure that it's set up right. Basically, the sag for the rear should be around, I think it's 25 millimeters. So what you do is you pull out the grab rail, stand behind the bike, lift up the tail until the shock is completely extended and the tail is as high as it's going to go without lifting the tire off the ground. Have somebody measure from a fixed point, like the top of the tail lights, to the top of the hub, the rear hub that the wheel bolts onto. And then after that, you let it go, you sit on the bike, bounce it once, hop off, measure. That's your, I think that's the static sag or whatever. It's not really a super important measurement. The important measurement is when you hop back on the bike, bounce it once and sit on it, and put your actual weight on it. That's your actual sag setting. So you want to adjust between completely topped out and your rider sag, which is you sitting on the bike, and that should be about 25 millimeters, give or take 5 millimeters. So 20 to 30 is the general range. I think the front is a bit higher, it's like 25 to 35, but of course if you ask racers, they'll tell you that the sag is kind of a squirrely thing and different riders prefer different things, different bikes prefer different setups. So it's just a good baseline to start at, to be 25 to 30 millimeters. Any more than that and you're reducing your actual shock travel by having too much sag. So I'm going to go for a ride today up Falls Road. I'm probably going to break this video into several parts because I'm going to go over a few different things like riding fundamentals, how to handle emergency braking. I saw a video the other day of a guy trying to explain counter steering, and there were people who were still confused, so I'm going to do a semi-scientific explanation, kind of an idiot's guide to counter steering, and actually show all of the different steps from stop to going, say, a legal speed limit. Because at a certain point, you go from steering the motorcycle, tipping the front tire in the direction you want to go, to actually counter steering. So that would be good to get out of the way. Braking fundamentals I'll probably break off into another vid if I get around to that. And then now that the weather's gradually warming up, I'll hopefully get some time to do some tutorial vids again. I didn't do much recording over winter. Some of the videos that I posted up recently were actually from last fall, before I hit the tire. I didn't do much recording over winter because we got super busy at work, and my wife's mother passed away a year ago on New Year's Day from cancer. So the holidays really were kind of a depressing time for her, and I just wanted to do everything I could to support her. Then I was out in Ohio away from the bike, so it wouldn't make much sense to be doing videos. So that out of the way, hopefully there won't be a ton of traffic on Falls Road, so I can actually go a decent clip and have some fun.